Hello, Otafest listeners. We are live at the Otafest podcast recording for 2 weeks out from Otafest, and it's terrifying. But joining
Can you say
me today,
we're live when we're recording?
fine. I'm live right now.
I'm being pedantic.
Straight to your ear holes from this recording, stored in the cloud somewhere.
Do you want me to restart?
No,
No.
not really.
All right, let's keep going then.
Let's keep going.
We're 2 weeks out. Nobody's stressed about Otafest. Nobody.
No,
But joining
no.
me today and not being stressed is Angelo and Nancy and myself, the J.
I'm legitimately not stressed.
There you go.
I'm not stressed. I'm just mildly rusty.
I'm actually very excited.
It's good.
I am also very excited because we have so many things to announce.
Such as, similar to Japanese convenience stores and the unique products they offer, Otafest Konbini offers a wide selection of Japanese snacks and drinks. Indulge in some melon pan or grab a quick onigiri snack on your way to the next event.
This year's Otafest Amplified concerts have everything for fans of live music and performance art, including drag performers, DJs, NEAT, and Anime Nightclub 3, and the father of Eurobeat himself, Dave Rogers. You'll be entertained and delighted by their electrifying performances while you dance the night away. Come on down to Otafest Amplified on Otafest Friday and experience the excitement.
And in case you missed that first part where Jay said it's T-8 days to Otafest, we have a reminder for you that we've implemented a number of strategies to help with overcrowding, one of which is to limit ticket sales. Saturday passes are now sold out. If we sell out online, we will not be selling tickets at the door, so get yours before it's too late. You can read more about it at otafest.com/ticket-update.
Oh my god. It's
We are
happening.
8 days
It's really
away.
happening.
I made sure to take off the Thursday and Friday before Otafest,
You are smart. I did not take Thursday.
partly because we have some friends from the States flying in on Wednesday night
Indeed.
to come attend Otafest.
I believe I have a European friend who is flying in.
Oh my god.
For Thursday. So yes, lots happening. They're also sticking around for the week after Otafest.
I just don't have friends.
So
It just
we'll
makes
get
it easier.
to show them around a bunch.
Yeah. It's going to be a great time. I'm so excited. Oh.
This is the most excited I've been in a whole year.
I mean, I think everyone should be excited. We have put a lot of work into this.
Yeah,
It's been
and
a long time coming.
well, the fact
gonna
that
be
it's like
wild.
the 25th anniversary, that's a pretty big deal.
That's a quarter century.
I know. We're a quarter century old.
That's even 0.025 of a millennium.
My God.
You know what? A quarter century sounds a lot longer than a 0.025 of a millennium. I thought
Yes.
going up in the units would make it sound a lot longer.
That just reminds me of there's this old story of, I think it was either Burger King or it could have been A&W, but I think it's Burger King, where they, in response to McDonald's famous quarter pounder Sammy, they offered a third pound burger. And if you know math, you would know that a third is bigger than a quarter. But it flopped as a product because people thought that the simple lizard brain said 3 smaller than 4, like 1/4,
Yep.
versus
Because
like
of
versus
the
1/3.
quarter?
Yes, like 1/3, 1/3 is smaller than 1/4, so that whole thing flopped for them.
Wow, that's some mental gymnastics right there.
Like, I kind of get it from a very basic marketing standpoint. Tell people what they're getting in the most like direct way possible, but I don't know how much more direct you can get other than 1/3 is larger than a quarter.
Does that like have to be
They try.
part of the marketing material then? It's like, welcome to blah blah blah, where we have our famous third pounder burger. Also,
1/3
it's
is bigger than a quarter.
Much bigger than our local competitor's quarter pounder.
You know
Yeah.
what the next competitor to McDonald's should do? Instead of a quarter pounder, do a 2/5. It doesn't roll off the tongue, but
Oh my
both
God.
numbers are bigger now.
Wow.
Or instead of saying like half a pound, be like
The double quarter pounder.
But a double quarter pounder already exists at McDonald's, but they don't call it a half pounder.
This kind of goes back to that whole thing about
Call it the quarter double pounder.
no, don't. No. That's not the point.
It's marketing.
You just reminded me about, when you get to that age as a teenager when like people start drinking and they start buying a 2.6 and you're just like, what the heck is a 2.6?
Yes. It is a 2.6.
It's a 2.6. What is a 2.6? What does
It has
the 2 and the
26
6
ounces
mean?
of alcohol.
But it's a 26.
Yeah. Well, do you know what a
It's not-
2.4 is, though?
You mean a twofer?
No, a 2.4.
No, a two-four.
I know, but like, you see what I mean? It's this whole like marketing spiel mixed with casual
Understanding or misunderstanding.
casual understanding / like casual slang. Like it's such a weird muddy spot to be in.
It really is. It really is. But all this talk of alcohol is reminding me of something. So a couple weeks ago, you guys were at the BMO Center for a bunch of nerd bull.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was there the very next weekend for beer bull.
Tell me more.
Is that the name of the event? Beer bull.
I wish it was.
I was there for beer bull.
So Beer Fest happened.
Mhm.
The Calgary Beer Fest happened at the BMO Center this past weekend.
Calgary.
And it was so much fun.
Was it dangerous?
It was not dangerous at all, really. It was actually just a great time.
Oh, so you didn't end up overindulging.
I actually didn't. I feel like I drank very responsibly this year, unlike last year.
Good.
So Dio, she went and splurged on the VIP passes.
Ooh.
The general plebeian passes were $20 a pop, whereas the VIP passes were $50 a pop, which I think that's actually still pretty attainable. That's still pretty reasonable, I think.
What is VIP about the alcohol situation?
It lets you skip the line, which when the line was wrapping around the BMO Center, thank God.
Oh God.
Oh, like getting in? Okay. I thought you
Yes.
meant like skip the line at like the vendor itself. I'm like, how long of a line will a vendor actually have?
And then it also included like a VIP lounge area. So if you wanted to sit down, you wanted to have like a good time, get off your feet. There were cooking with beer classes. Unfortunately, we didn't get to those in time, but those were included in the VIP pass. But more than anything, the whole point of Beer Fest is you get this tiny little cup, this tiny little 5-ounce cup. It is like a fifth or a sixth of a pint. And you go to the different booths and you go, "Sir, I want your finest beer. Here is 2 tickets." And then they fill up your little cup and you can just slurp your beer and you can enjoy it. It is one of the best ways to sample a bunch of different drinks.
Do you find that 5 ounces is enough?
It might actually have been less than that now that I think about it. Like it might be 4. I would have to compare with some other drinking vessels, but it's enough to get a good taste and still know because that it's like such a small amount of a pint. Like you can have like 6 or 8 of these little cupfuls of beer and still only be like 2 pints of beer overall. So you can really enjoy the event, try a lot of stuff, and have a great time. Like that's the point of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're going there to get sloshed.
I was looking to go to Beer Fest, but I wasn't able to make it just to my own personal schedule. Now
Unlucky.
people know I don't really drink and you'd be like surprised why I want to go. It's because they have food too, and
They do have a lot of food.
I always like food.
One of my favorite things that they had was
Yeah.
beer cheese.
What?
Yeah.
Beer
beer
cheese
cheese is
fried
okay.
in butter and garlic.
Oh, okay. It was prepped. It wasn't just beer cheese.
They did have some that were
That's good.
just like on its own. Like it's a
Yeah.
cheese string, you could get like smoked or regular. But
Yeah.
the best thing they have it like cut up in little nibs. They saute it with butter and garlic so it gets like nice and just a little bit crispy. And you can eat it like
Ooh.
that.
Mhm.
It is magical.
Ooh.
But
I do remember I was looking at the tickets. So the sample mug is actually not a VIP thing, which I think it was pretty interesting. It's actually just if you pre-purchase your ticket,
yeah,
you will get a sample mug. Looking at the actual VIP, I don't know if I would personally have paid extra, not because I think it's like terrible. I just don't think I would have needed to use most of them because it's like separate entrance, early admission, VIP lounge with drinking water is something that cracks me up just because I think it's funny.
no
that
matter what,
you
there was water
are being
available.
accessed.
It's
I was
just
gonna
that there
say.
were not otherwise chairs available.
That's fair.
Mm.
But walking throughout the hallways of Beerfest, something caught my eye. On top of a table, there were these very silly party glasses. They had a honeycomb pattern, and they were lit up with an extravagant purple and pink hue. And I just looked at them and I was like, those are the most ridiculous glasses I've ever seen.
They will
Mhm.
be
I
mine.
need to try them on. And so I put them on my head, and Dio was there. Some other friends were there, and they were like, wait a minute. It actually looks kind of neat. What the hell? It doesn't look as goofy as we thought. So I pulled out my phone, I took a look with my selfie camera, and I was like, wow, I look like a balder version of Daft Punk. This is wonderful.
What does that mean, though? You don't know what if Daft Punk are bald or not. That's the whole point.
Well, I mean, they blew themselves up, so no one will ever know.
Yeah.
True.
I bought those glasses, and I wore them for the rest of the evening. And something I didn't expect happened. It turns out that wearing light-up party glasses is just an instant icebreaker. If you wear those, and you are the only person in like a sea of drunk people wearing these weird party glasses, everyone just wants to talk to you. They're like, oh my god, those glasses are amazing. Where did you get them? Or they're like, whoa, look at those. Those are certainly eye-catching. It is like a cheat code to making friends.
Hey.
For what it's worth, listeners, he's wearing them right now.
I
Yeah, he is.
legitimately am wearing them right now because it's just that fun.
You're killing the battery. You're gonna need it for the weekend.
I'm pretty sure I've got some batteries in my bag or in my drawer.
All right.
I'm pretty sure they're 2032s. I have like 8 of those for motherboards, you know?
So, for context, when Angelo turned his camera on, I almost certainly thought, oh, that's an interesting camera filter. And then he started moving his head around, and I was like, oh, no, those are real. Yep.
I feel like I've seen them before, but I can't remember where.
You might have seen them at different event spaces.
Oh, but like probably. I just can't. Like I said, I just don't remember which one. I wish, being the gamer that I am, I wish that they changed colors or went from like the colors would like flow left to right or anything like that because it goes blue to pink. It looks like.
Mhm.
Can you change it?
Yeah, gradients.
Each side is individually controlled.
Ooh, now it's
Oh,
all
there's
pink.
some
now
change
it's
to
yellow. Ooh. Oh, I love it. Oh my god, that would drive me
That's
insane.
a seizure.
Angelo's got blinking mode on. That would no.
But there's no
Uh,
gradient. There's no like moving rainbow gradient.
So each side is individually controlled, and so
Yeah.
you can set it to a rotating RGB mode. You would have to time it to like
Ah.
really feel like it's rotating, but
Yeah.
you could do it.
Okay.
Well, I will give them more credit than I thought, and I think it is an excellent purchase for you, sir.
I think they're super fun. You're gonna
Yeah.
have so many people hitting you up and being like, "Cool glasses, dude."
Exactly.
Like,
I'm going to wear
at
them
Otafest.
entire weekend at Otafest because there's also a second functionality that myself, as a very tall person, gets out of these glasses. I effectively become a lighthouse in a crowd. When the short friends were going off to the bathroom
The short
and had
friends.
to find us afterwards, I just would look in the general direction, rotate around, and then they'd be like, that big bald thing with the honeycomb, the iridescent LED honeycomb. That's where my friends are.
The beacon of Gondor has been lit.
Gondor calls for aid. It's so
Kind of
fun.
love it.
It's so
I'm
good.
just
love it.
curious as to see what the rest of your outfit will be like.
Yeah.
It won't be this cool.
Now that you've got
I can't top this.
these accessories, you need to like shore up the rest of it.
But now you need to have a perfect rave outfit.
Maybe I'll wear
For-
like my nice pink Princess Peach tank top and my
Do
Miku
it.
shirt on top of it.
Yes.
You need like you need like a white, almost white shiny pleather jacket. And
I
some
can't do
white
pleather, but
hot
I've got a
pants.
double-breasted white suit blazer.
Do you have
I'm-
like some fingerless gloves to go with that? Because that would just be the perfect outfit for Saturday night.
Maybe. I'm pretty
Come
sure that
on.
blazer actually has a stain from it. It was from a cosplay from
Aww.
Otafest Aurora,
You know-
I think.
You know, you could
Oh
do your
my
laundry,
gosh.
right?
I mean,
Laundry is something that can be done.
this thing has been stained since Otafest Aurora. When was the last one of those?
Oh my
You
gosh.
can-
Never mind.
You can dry clean it.
You
Maybe.
can dry clean it, or you can just wear it as is to Otafest Amplified.
I
Oh.
can. It'll get stained throughout the day. Maybe I'll
Yeah,
just like
exactly.
spray some ketchup on it for the vibe.
And just
Well, if he's
call
gonna
it
show
a
up for-
purposeful thing.
If he's gonna show up for Otafest Amplify, that's Friday, not Saturday.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
that'd be Friday. I was initially thinking like, oh, that would be a really cute masquerade. Nope, let's change it. That's gonna be like a rave outfit for Friday.
We should get you those finger lights too.
Do
That
it.
would be fun.
Do it.
That would be a lot of fun. But
Come on.
overall, Beer Fest was an absolute hoot. It was so great. It was a bunch of hanging out with friends and getting a little bit buzzed, a little bit sloshed.
So, did you come away with some favorites, like some new favorites?
Yes, actually. I can't remember what the exact name was, but there was this green tea cognac drink. There was this
That
green
sounds
tea
interesting.
cognac drink that was absolutely heavenly. And,
Those are two like drink words that don't go together in my brain. Like I can't imagine what that tastes like right now. Because I'm pretty good at imagining flavor profiles. And I don't understand.
I
what
guess it's time
that
for you to
would be
try a
like.
sip or something.
Tiger's
Well,
tea.
the other
that's
thing
what it
is
was
I
called.
also use cognac majority for cooking, which is where my headspace would be about that. I don't know. I wonder if I could use it in the same way.
So in the
But I
case of
tried.
this drink, it was more green tea forward.
Ooh, I like it.
It
like it
wasn't
already.
bitter at all,
Yes.
but it wasn't too sweet. The cognac came through on the back. And of all the different things that I tried, like I had a lot of good beers that night. But that one, which was not a beer at all, it was alcoholic green tea.
I do wish I had gone.
That one was the standout. And that one was
I like
really
green
cool. It was
tea.
called Tiger's Tea.
I like green tea in general as a drink profile note thing. So that makes me happy that it's being used.
I'll see if I can go next year.
I might recommend it. I think it's a pretty good time. Just
Yeah, I'm
if
not
you
a
do
huge
go with
drinker
a
either,
general
but still.
pass, make sure you line up early.
Good to know.
Or maybe wear a diaper in the line. Who knows? It's a very long line.
God. Mm-mm.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Anyways,
I heard that there's a Nintendo game coming out.
probably. I've never heard of it though. But I am playing the crap of the old one in preparation for this new one.
And
I haven't played Breath of the Wild since like it first came out. It's a really good game. I like it. I enjoy it so much more than I did with Skyward Sword, which I just really wanted to like get it over with, and I finally did that. But I just forgot how much there is to do in the game. I like Breath of the Wild in that it's an open world game that makes me really feel like it's open world. I don't know how to describe it much better. Like there's like I've played lots of open world games in many different genres, but Breath of the Wild is like one that I really don't mind like just traveling, or even like if I'm not warping across, just to get an objective done or whatever, like it actually feels nice. But there's just so much to do. And I thought I had more time, but Tears of the Kingdom is coming out in like 2 days at this point. And I don't have the time that I thought. It was just there's so much to do. And I still have to actually beat bosses. And I just didn't think that it would be this bad. I took time off for this, and I thought I would have
You
more time.
thought you had time.
Yeah,
You
I
thought
really
you
Thought
did.
were
you
a
could
gamer.
handle this.
It's still a really good game. Makes me super look forward to Tears of the Kingdom. I am basically almost spoiler free on Tears of the Kingdom. I have no idea what's really to expect other than like the official trailers that I've seen, but I haven't like done a deep dive on everybody's speculations for the game because if there's anything I've ever learned, I hate other people's expectations.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, whenever someone else like speculates on what they want a game to be,
Hmm. Or
they-
anything like a movie, a show, anything.
this
They're
is
hyped.
kind of bad because this
It's
is
bad.
kind of something that we do as well in our anime review episodes. But we're not as creative as the creative staffs behind these projects. Legitimately. Anyone who says like what they want, what they expect out of it, what they're looking forward to, frequently have no idea what's coming for them.
That is very true.
And I love that.
Yeah.
Like that's what keeps it a surprise.
I think it's like anytime you go into a big project, you're about to experience a big work such as a movie, a series, and like, you know, everyone and their grandmother is like, oh, it'll be amazing, or like all this other stuff. But I've only genuinely, and I think I can speak for a lot of people, I've only genuinely had like the best time, I feel like, when my expectations were lower, not higher.
Oh,
Which
true.
is like, so like a good example would be I recently had seen like the Super Mario movie, and I had low expectations, and I knew it would be a kids movie, but it still was pretty fun. Like, but I felt like if I went up there being like, I'm the biggest Super Mario fan, this is going to be the greatest time, like I'd be very disappointed in some sense.
I agree with
A
that.
movie that's a movie that's coming out soon is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse,
Mm-hmm.
the sequel to the to Into the Spider-Verse, which is in my viewing is probably a top 5 movie for me all time. Like it just hits so many great notes. And I'm probably too hyped for it. Like it's coming out soon, but I think it's going to be like I still think it's going to be really amazing, but I literally went like I went to that first movie, Into the Spider-Verse. I remember Bayfar and I were just looking for something to do. We went to go see a movie. We chose a Spider-Man movie, not having any expectations, and just it was like
Mhm.
absolutely
Mind-blowing.
mind-blowing.
For me and Dio, it was the same way. We heard that it was kind of good and we liked the trailers. We liked the style of it. So we were just like, yeah, let's go see it. And then we walked out with our minds absolutely blown.
I had not even seen a trailer for that movie. Like I barely knew it existed.
I also
when I
didn't
went
watch
there.
trailers for it, and I didn't want to because I knew we were going to be watching it.
Yeah. But now with the new one coming out, I'm a little worried. Because my expectations are high.
That
I mean,
you're-
I'm doing that kind of for Tears of the Kingdom too, because
I want to
friggin'
believe in them.
grinding through Breath of the Wild. I'm having a really good time, but like I don't know, man.
So you played, what was it? You played Twilight Princess Skyward Sword and Breath of the Wild in anticipation.
No, I did not play
of,
Twilight
Tears of the
Princess.
Kingdom?
First of all, I don't have Twilight Princess. Second of all, Twilight Princess is not a game I would play again. It's not that I hate it. It's there are many games I would not play again, even if I enjoy them. Twilight Princess, I think, is probably a better game than Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword, I had never played before fully, so I wanted to beat that. But yeah, but it was
Oh, that's why you played
yeah,
Skyward
but
Sword. Just because you
mechanically,
never
from a
had-
gameplay perspective, I don't think I could do that to myself again. Like I feel like I really should have played Skyward Sword when it first came out because the gameplay mechanics are just backwards. They're just backwards.
It
It's
hasn't
really
aged.
bad compared to Breath of the Wild, at least for me.
That's fair.
I would play Wind Waker though.
So you're hyping yourself up for Breath. For
But I'm
Tears of the
doing it to
Kingdom.
myself in the sense that I'm like, these
Mhm.
are my expectations. I'm playing through the game, the previous game. It'd be like me watching Into the Spider-Verse by myself before I went to go see Across the Spider-Verse. That's okay. But I don't want someone else doing
So
it
here's
for
what
me.
you do. You need a palate cleanser. Watch Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2.
Is that the one where he does the little
Oh,
the
wow.
is it the dance?
where he's in the black suit and does the emo dance.
Yeah, that's the one where he
Yeah.
goes emo.
Because that was
wow.
popular at the time.
Was that considered popular? I
That was
thought
popular at the time.
Ooh. I thought that was the least
What
well-received
happened to
movie of
Tobey
that
Maguire?
series.
Oh, it
What does he
absolutely
do
was.
now? I need to
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm sure he's doing fine for himself. I'm sure Tobey Maguire is having a great time somewhere. Him and his millions of Spider-Man dollars.
What does he do now?
Could be blowing it on Gacha.
He could be blowing it on Gacha. I can't believe someone would go out of their way to play Gacha games and roll the Gacha and spend their hard-earned money on Gacha characters and waifus and stuff. And I can't believe that I've started playing Fate Grand Order again and Genshin again.
How do you guys do that? Okay.
Wow.
Seriously asking.
By being non-committal in every single one.
No. That's not what I'm asking. I'm not even asking about the like spending part of it. I am literally asking you.
No, it's the non-committalness.
I tried. I put probably 10 hours into Star Rail. I couldn't get into it. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's the art. I don't necessarily think it's the gameplay. I think I just genuinely, in my soul, despise a gacha system. And I just can't get over it.
That's fair. That's 100% fair. Like, early game and gachas are simultaneously... The gacha is very generous because they want you to roll as much as possible so that you get hooked, you feel invested, you get some characters you like. But it's also, generally speaking, the worst part of the game. It's the tutorial mode of the first like 6 months of a gacha game existing is like the tutorial mode.
I think I just care so much about the
Mm.
game part and whether that makes me enjoy it, that the gacha is just really off-putting to me, because when I have a game in front of me, for example, like I'm playing Breath of the Wild, everything is being earned by me. Does that make sense? I'm not. It's not a grind.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think
makes
Breath of the Wild
100%
is a grind.
sense.
It's not a grind to me, at least. And maybe it's just because I'm having a lot of fun.
And every gacha game has grind to some degree.
I think that's probably a big part of it because I can't get over it.
Like, the thing
Yeah.
is, when it comes to gacha, you can't even think about what am I accomplishing this session. It's more like I am chipping away at the thing that I want, that if I keep up this rate, I will have it in a month and a half.
Before the event ends.
Maybe. You might get it in a month and a half.
And events are their own goddamn.
I think that's the other thing I realize I
Good
just don't
lord.
like.
Yeah.
Don't make me daily check into anything. Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't care. I can't do it.
But they want you
tried.
to. They want you to log in. They want you to
that's the
log in,
thing.
and they want you to hit the buttons on the menu.
I am serious about this. I felt like I genuinely tried to give a gacha game a chance in Star Rail. I don't mean even just like the 10-hour playtime or whatever. I logged in to do the daily things. I went on like the website where I can do a check-in. I did all the things that they offered you at the beginning for the experience to see if it could like draw me in. And I am sitting back now and saying, I need to uninstall it. I don't know why I haven't uninstalled. Oh no, I know why. Because I've been playing Breath of the Wild. I have not uninstalled it because I have been playing
Very
on my
fair.
console instead of my PC. That being said, it's still
Very
a
fair.
interesting game. I wish I could know more about the whole world and the characters, which I just recently learned that they're all the same characters, and from the Hoyo verse.
Yeah, MiHoYo likes to recycle characters between
Yeah.
their different properties.
They're different universes. Sometimes they do an
Interesting.
actual crossover, like Fischl shows up in Honkai Impact.
I was
3rd
watching
or
Dio's
something.
stream of Star Rail, and she plays it in English, and I played it in Japanese. I thought the Japanese VA sounded a little bit better. I didn't try the Mandarin because I just don't want to sit there trying to pretend I remember any Mandarin. What are you playing in? What language
I also can't. But I'm playing it in Japanese. I flipped it to English to try and catch the trash taste guys.
Okay.
because apparently they're in here
Oh,
somewhere.
really?
Yeah, they're just like some NPCs that show up for a couple of scenes or something.
I feel like I
Uh,
would 100% catch Joey's voice or Garnt's voice. Connor, on the other hand, because he is a professional voice actor, he could easily slide under the radar if he was trying.
I'm pretty sure Joey's the one that would stand out the most to me.
Oh yeah.
He's not a voice actor, right? So
Neither him or
think
Garnt
he
are
would
voice
just be-
actors.
What do they do?
Yeah, so he and Garnt would
If
just
they're
be
not
using
voice
their normal
actors-
voices, which is
Oh,
like,
they're
okay, fine.
They are YouTubers.
They're
They're
YouTubers who
and
talk about
Garnt was
anime.
briefly working
Potatoes.
for the BBC.
For you.
Briefly.
Interesting.
They're trash taste buddies.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what I'm doing right now. I feel like I haven't given Honkai Star Rail enough of a go to actually figure out if I like it or not. And the reason why is because every time I load it up, I look at it and I'm like, okay, I still gotta get over tutorial mode because we've just gotten to our first world. March is being March, and we're just trying to be helpful, good little people. And I start falling asleep.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Like sitting up at the computer, I start falling asleep. It's not because the
Don't feel
game is
engaged.
bad, it's that I apparently just don't want to pay attention to it, and that I don't know if it's the game.
I mentioned
if
this
it's just
last. I think it
me.
was last episode because
That's
we
fair.
started talking a little bit about it. I like the battle system. The battle system's actually quite fun. I think it's interesting with like the ultimate interrupts and characters having like passive traits that can help during the fight. But if anything, I can,
Mhm.
even though I didn't fall asleep at my desk like you did, I think that there is way too much text in that game. And a lot of it's inconsequential
Yeah.
text.
I-
There's
so
a
pe-
lot
so,
of
okay.
inconsequential text.
People have
Oh,
the
yeah?
same feedback about Genshin. They have effectively distilled Genshin's dialogue down into a formula. And the formula is text, 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 clever sounding words that are misused. Paimon repeats it in a more simple everyday human vernacular, and then text, 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 a couple of things bolded in blue. Paimon says the same thing again. MC never says a thing other than, okay, let's go, or you get two dialogue
Yes.
choices that effectively do the same thing, or
Yeah.
are actually just
I
continuations
noticed
of
that.
the
The
same one.
dialogue is actually
I've heard
I
It's
don't want to
not-
say painful. It's just very non-engaging, and things like the item descriptions or like the world
Mm.
descriptions, like I already forgot what they're called, but the gods in the game or something like that. I had some.
Are they called Archons in Honkai as well?
I don't remember. I don't remember what
I don't
they're
know, I
called.
haven't
But
gotten
the
that
point
far
being
yet.
is
Fair
like
enough.
there is just so much text and not in an engaging way. Like I like reading doesn't mean I want to read crap on the screen. Doesn't advance the story.
So, the Sean has played far enough where he has told me that sometimes the dialogue you come across sounds like it was written by a troller on Reddit. And you're like, really? And he's like, yeah. Haven't you read any of the garbage can descriptions? I'm
I
like,
did.
no.
I
And then apparently the garbage cans are
Yeah.
all just like one
Yeah.
big meme in the entire game. And I'm like, okay. So now I start paying attention to it, and it's like every garbage receptacle that you come across has like a big life story about its description, why it's sitting
Mhm.
there, and how many
Mhm.
years of age it has seen standing guard over the refuse of human whatever civilization. And
Yeah.
then you get
No.
nothing out of it.
There
You
is
get
there is
nothing for your
one or
effort.
two
You
of
don't
them that
even
give
get,
you
like,
something.
a
I remember that much. Out of about I
one
would
or
say probably
two.
about in that section, from what I remember, there's probably about 15 trash cans. Probably one or two of them give you something. That being said, what that really screams to me is that whoever's writing the official script and has to do the script for the characters has their job, and then whoever gets to do flavor text, such as things like this, that's probably, if you work for this company or work for the translation side, that's where you get to have fun. It's terrible script writing, to be honest. It's really bad.
I wonder if this is something they also do in
They
the other
probably
languages,
do
or
it.
if it's just the English one.
That's
Yeah.
gotta be in every language.
It's probably equivalent
gotta
of
be.
like, we know we have a lot of stuff for you to translate, but here's something that you can do for fun. Like, here's a little bit of guidance on what we want to see, but we're not gonna like. I feel like, and I could be super incorrect, that they're not going to be like, this garbage can needs to say the exact same thing in 7 languages. I really hope not. Anyways.
Oh no.
Maybe, and that's something that's like a meme that I only really just started paying attention to. But even that, it starts
Yeah.
becoming walls of text that you just want to end. Like I've stopped reading them. Going back to Genshin though, Genshin dailies are a thing. I know that you unlock them in Star Rail eventually too, but in Genshin, the dailies are, you gotta do them every day.
Yeah.
And then you get your free primos, and there's so many dailies where you're just hitting the space, not the space bar, it's F in that one. You're just hitting like the
Yeah.
confirm button and just
Yeah.
going yes, 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 whatever. Just tell me what you want me to do. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, here's the thing you want me to do. And the worst thing is when they say go to this other place to deliver a message
think-
and then come back.
I think another thing that I really hate about
Yeah.
dailies, because I'm not used to playing games with dailies in general, but I just hate that there's like 18, maybe not 18, 8 maybe actually, different dailies. Like, and they all have their own separate menu, and they all have some different place you have to click, and there's all this, like, I just,
Oh, no.
I don't know, it's
Oh,
just busy
no.
work. That's my problem with it. And I don't, I
That's
just can't
exactly what
care.
it is. It exists to
Yeah.
take up time in the game because the way that gacha games work is that they have story that's usually they will release a chunk of story
My-
every few months. And they need reasons for you to log in between story chunks. Part of that's to make your characters more strong, or part of that is to join events. But when they have nothing else,
Sure.
they want to keep you engaged
And I think that's,
by giving you dailies. Something that you have to do every day, even if it's
Yeah.
only a half hour of your day that you're dedicating to the game. And that is a problem
I
for
think
Still
me.
that's
logging in and you're
probably
still
the last
playing.
and final thing that I dislike the most is you mentioned characters getting stronger, and that is, first of all, in a game that's already a lot of the grind. Like, you do a level up grind of some kind, or materials grinding or something like that. And so Star Rail kind of does materials grinding where you get items that give you experience. I'm like, I kind of get that, but my problem
Just
my
about
problem with
every
that
gacha works
is
way.
that your experience is gated because you might not get experience items if you're doing something. Like,
Exactly.
I'm gonna just say it outright. I don't know how Angelo plays all these gacha games. It makes no sense to me as someone who is a game enjoyer. I just don't get it.
So straight up,
Angela's just built different.
for me, I almost always only play one gacha at a time. I go with one
Except now
gacha that
apparently
has
you're playing
my
3.
attention. For the longest time, that was Fate Grand Order. And then I fell out of Fate Grand Order for Genshin. And then I stopped playing Genshin, and Nikke came along. I thought Nikke was a meme, but it turns out it's an actual good game. And now something has changed. So Nikke got a PC client, and it works way better than on my phone. So I actually don't play Nikke on my phone anymore. Genshin doesn't really work on my phone either. So suddenly, when I'm away from my PC, I've got Fate Grand Order time. So when I'm on the bathroom, in the bathroom in the morning, that can be Fate Grand Order time. I can mess around with Nikke on my PC when I have PC time.
Mm-hmm.
And one last thing happened that got me to reinstall Genshin. On a whim, I looked up how to install Genshin on the Steam Deck once again. The last time I tried this was last fall, and it was an absolute nightmare. It felt impossible. But I looked up a guide this time, and it said, oh, Proton supports it pretty well now. Just register the installer as an external Steam game, set Proton to experimental and it'll probably work.
Is Proton the SteamOS?
So I did that. So Proton is what Valve calls their, I want to say, an extension of Wine or a version of Wine. It is basically their translation layer that makes Windows games work on Linux. So I installed it. I had to do a little bit of extra fuckery by pointing different files into different areas. But then it just worked. I was able to log in.
Nice.
I was able to set my controls, so it didn't expect keyboard and mouse. It actually worked fine with the Valve controls on the Steam Deck. All of the icons were popping up. I feel like Genshin sucks on a controller. It has a lot of inconsistencies in the controller, so you really have to pay attention to what buttons it wants you to press in what menus. But it does work. I have it set to like minimum settings, but it runs at 60 frames per second.
I remember saying
really
this. Maybe it was last episode because we're talking. I don't remember if we talked about controls. I think we talked a little bit. I initially for Star Rail, I was like, "This is an RPG. RPGs are meant to be played with controllers. It feels nice on a controller." It's the fucking menus and the fucking dailies that make me need to use a mouse and control keyboard because it's clicking all the goddamn daily buttons. I hate it.
So I think I had the same problem with Witcher 3. Yep. Witcher 3 was originally made for a controller. So if you try to manage... Oh, wait, no. Other way around. It was originally made for PC, so they assume that you have a mouse and you can click around through all these inventory management grids. But when you try to do the same thing with a controller, it gets clunky. It's not great.
Yes.
Some games are definitely designed with a UI that's more keyboard
that's
or
definitely a
more
problem where
forward.
It's I don't know if game devs think about it as much that way. Like they're probably just thinking, well, you can switch to whatever you like, and I get that. But it's interesting because if you make the gameplay controller friendly, but you make the menuing keyboard and mouse friendly, especially mouse friendly, it's kind of super annoying.
And here's one little thing that they could do to make it much better on the Steam Deck. I don't expect them to. The problem is when you set Genshin to controller mode, it ignores all mouse inputs. So the Steam Deck touchscreen no longer works in the game once it's in controller mode. So you are dedicated controller. You are a controller.
Star Rail is actually doesn't have that problem. You can switch immediately, which is really nice, but annoying.
Nice.
And I'm uninstalling the game as we speak.
Now, that's the other thing about Genshin on the Steam Deck. Genshin is a really big game. At over 100 gigabytes installed, it literally takes up half of my Steam Deck's SSD.
And growing. Every time they release a new patch, the game is bigger.
I'm laughing because I remembered something. At the end of last episode, we were talking about Star Rail as well. At that time, I realized I hadn't done my dailies yet, so I actually started playing the game while we were recording. And this episode, I'm uninstalling it at the end of the recording.
Good.
I love it.
That's well timed.
That's the kind of energy, that's the kind of mindset you need to play gacha games. You need to make sure that you stay free to pure and threaten them with the uninstall at the slightest transgression.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, this concludes the second last episode. No, don't
uninstall us.
Don't do it.
Don't uninstall us. We're free.
Exactly.
We're free and we're not pirateware.
At this time, 1 week out. We will have one more episode before the con. It will release on the Wednesday before the con. We won't be recording live at Otafest because we've decided that it's just not really worth the effort. and you're already going to be at the con. I don't need to tell
The
you.
live
It's-
episode
it'll be
sounded
fine.
so bad last year.
And other than that, we'll have a couple more episodes after that, and then we'll end the season. So we will see you in a week. It'll be great.
Bye-bye.
Bye.